It was 11:47 p.m. when my phone lit up. Her name, Maya. After months of silence, I stared at the screen like it was a ghost, because that's what she'd become. A memory that still breathed somewhere out there, just not with me. For a moment, I thought about ignoring it, pretending I didn't see it. But my heart didn't ask for permission. It just picked up. "Hey," I said, my voice rough, uncertain, like a word that had forgotten how to exist. She laughed softly, that same quiet laugh I used to tease her about. "Hey, stranger." Her voice carried something I hadn't heard in a long time. Not anger, not warmth, but something in between. Then came the silence, the kind that says everything you're both afraid to. "I didn't wake you, did I?" she asked. I swallowed hard. "No, couldn't sleep anyway." "Still working too much?" she asked again. I smiled faintly. "Still caring too much." We both chuckled. The kind of laugh that hides every truth you can't face. Then her tone changed. "Noah." She paused. "There's something I need to tell you." The way she said it, slow, heavy, like her heart was dragging behind every word, made the room colder. "Promise you won't hang up," she whispered. My chest tightened. "Maya, what's going on?" The line went quiet. All I could hear was her breathing, slow, shaky, like she was trying not to break. Then she said the words that froze everything inside me. "I just wanted to hear your voice. One last time." The world stopped, and for the first time in years, I forgot how to breathe. Before the distance, before the silence, there was a love that felt like home. I met Maya on a rainy Tuesday. She was standing under a broken umbrella, laughing at how useless it was. I offered her mine. She refused. So we stood there, both getting soaked, laughing like the world was ours. That's how it started. Not with fireworks. Not with fate. Just a moment that felt too human to forget. She loved small things. Rainy mornings, half-burnt toast, old songs that didn't have happy endings. I used to tell her she looked like the kind of poem no one finished writing. She'd roll her eyes, then blush anyway. We built a world out of simplicity. Cheap coffee, long walks, late-night talks. We didn't have much, but somehow it was enough. Then life happened, as it always does. I got promoted. New hours, new pressure, new distance. She said she understood, but understanding doesn't stop loneliness from growing. The calls became shorter, the messages slower, the laughter quieter. She'd say, "I miss you," and I'd say, "I'll make it up to you." But time doesn't wait for promises. One night she told me she had a dream, that I was standing right next to her. But every time she turned to hold me, I disappeared. I didn't realize then. That dream wasn't just a dream. It was her heart warning me that love can fade. Not because it wants to, but because we stop showing up for it. If I had known that was the beginning of the end, I would have stayed. I would have chosen her over everything. But love, when taken for granted, becomes a ghost long before it dies. It's strange how love doesn't end in a single moment. It fades in pieces, in all the things we stop saying. At first it was little things. I'd come home tired, too tired to talk. She'd ask how my day was, and I'd just nod, scrolling through my phone like the world inside it mattered more. She used to wait for me at the window, eyes lighting up when she heard my key in the door. Then one day, she stopped waiting, and I never asked why. We started speaking in short sentences. Yes, no, maybe tomorrow. But silence has a way of saying everything we're too afraid to admit. I could feel her slipping away, not because she stopped loving me, but because she stopped believing I still did. One night she asked me, "Noah, do you still see me the way you used to?" I laughed it off, made a joke. She smiled, but her eyes didn't. That's when I realized she wasn't looking for reassurance. She was looking for hope, and I didn't give it to her. Weeks passed. We lived like strangers who remembered how to love once. Two people sharing the same space, but not the same heart. She began spending more time outside, walks alone, coffee with friends, conversations I was no longer part of. And every time she said, "I'll be home soon," I felt something inside me tighten. like I was losing something I hadn't learned how to keep. The night before she left, we sat in silence. The TV was on, but neither of us was watching. She reached for my hand, then stopped halfway, pulled back. It's crazy how much that one gesture can haunt you. A hand that almost reached out and didn't. If love had a sound, that night, it was the sound of two people breathing the same air, but feeling miles apart. She said quietly, "Noah, if I ever stop calling, will you notice?" I wanted to say, "I'll always notice," but what came out instead was, "Don't be dramatic." She smiled sadly. I guess that's my answer. That was the last night we shared the same room. And I didn't know that the next morning, she'd be gone. The morning she left. It wasn't dramatic. No slammed doors. No angry goodbyes. Just quiet. I woke up to sunlight spilling through the curtains. Warm, calm, ordinary, but something felt off. The kind of silence that doesn't belong. Her side of the bed was cold. The pillow empty. The smell of her shampoo still lingered in the air, like the ghost of a goodbye she didn't want to say. I remember calling out her name. Once, twice. No answer. Her shoes were gone. So was her favorite coat. The one I always teased her for wearing even when it wasn't cold. There was a note on the table, folded neatly, like she didn't want it to hurt. It said, "Noah, you didn't lose me overnight. You just stopped showing up, and I forgot how to stay." Maya. I must have read it 100 times. Every word cut deeper than the last. Not because it was cruel, but because it was true. That's the thing about losing someone quietly. You don't notice until the echo of them is all you have left. I tried calling. No answer. Texted. Nothing. Her phone went straight to voicemail. I even ran down the street, hoping maybe I'd see her walking away, just so I could say something. Anything. But she was gone. And in that empty apartment, it finally hit me. How many chances I'd wasted. All the time she wanted to talk. And I said later. All the moments she reached out, and I pulled away. Now later was gone, and there was no one left to say come back to. That night, I sat on the floor beside the bed and listened to the rain. It sounded like her. Soft, unforgiving, constant. I whispered her name, half hoping she'd walk through the door, but the only answer I got was silence. And in that silence, I realized the worst goodbyes aren't the ones we hear. They're the ones we cause, without even knowing. The days after she left felt like a blur I couldn't wake up from. I'd wake up reaching for her, then remember. The emptiness beside me was louder than any goodbye. Her laughter used to fill this room. Now, even the clock felt too loud. Every tick was a reminder of times she'd stopped sharing with me. I stopped opening the curtains. Didn't want the sunlight to remind me that life goes on, even when yours doesn't. Her mug still sat on the table. Lip stain faded, but still there, like she'd just stepped out and would be back soon. I couldn't throw it away. Not yet. Maybe because part of me still believed she'd come back for it. Some nights I'd scroll through old photos. Her smile, my arm around her. Two people who had no idea how fragile forever really was. It's strange how pictures don't change, but the people in them do. Friends called. I didn't answer. I didn't want pity. I didn't want advice. I just wanted her. But wanting doesn't undo distance. And guilt doesn't bring back love. I started replaying everything. Every late reply. Every ignored call. Every later I never followed up on. I thought love was strong enough to wait. But love doesn't wait. It wilts quietly, while you convince yourself there's still time. One evening, I found her sweater on the couch. The one she wore when it rained. It still smelled like her, lavender and sadness. I held it for hours, like it could still hold me back. But it didn't. It never would again. That night, I sat on the floor again, same spot where I read her note. I whispered, "I'm sorry." The room didn't answer, but I swear, for a second, I felt her there. Maybe that's what regret does. It keeps ghosts alive. Days turned into weeks, and slowly, her absence stopped feeling like pain. and started feeling like routine. I stopped counting how long it had been, because the numbers hurt more than the memories. Her toothbrush was still in the bathroom. I couldn't throw it away, so I just stopped looking at it. That's how forgetting begins. Not by erasing, but by avoiding. I started walking home slower after work, not because I was tired, but because there was no one waiting for me. The apartment stopped smelling like her, and somehow, that was worse than the silence. I used to dream about her, but even my dreams started letting go. Faces blur when you stop seeing them. Even the ones you swore you'd never forget. People said, "You'll move on." But they didn't understand. I didn't want to move on. I just wanted to understand how love could vanish, without a proper ending. Some nights I'd convince myself she'd call, that she'd say, "I miss you too." But hope has a cruel way of sounding like a ringtone that never actually rings, so I adjusted. I started living with the quiet. The same quiet that used to drive me insane became my only company. It's strange how loneliness stops feeling like pain and starts feeling like peace. I learned to cook for one, to watch movies without pausing for comments that would never come, to sleep in the middle of the bed, to talk less, because there was no one left to listen. Her absence became a habit, a rhythm I couldn't escape, a ghost I stopped fighting. And even though the world moved on, a part of me stayed, stuck between who I was with her and who I was without her. That's the thing about heartbreak. It doesn't kill you. It just teaches you how to live half alive. It had been almost 6 months since Maya left. 6 months of silence. 6 months of pretending I was okay. I was doing better, or at least I thought I was. I'd learned how to fill the days, how to laugh without meaning it, how to survive without her name echoing in every thought. But healing is a liar. It makes you think you're done hurting, until one moment proves you wrong. That moment came on a Sunday morning. I was making coffee, half listening to the rain tapping against the window. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number, but something in me knew. Because sometimes your heart recognizes a presence, long before your mind does. I picked it up. "Hello?" Silence. Then, "Noah?" It was her. Maya. Her voice sounded softer, older, like it had carried too much pain for too long. For a second, I couldn't speak. I just stood there, frozen between relief and disbelief. She said, "I didn't know if you'd still have the same number." I laughed weakly. I didn't know if I'd still have the same heart. We both went quiet. And in that quiet, I felt every unsaid word between us. Every apology, every memory, every moment we never fixed. Then she said something I didn't expect. "Noah, can we meet?" My chest tightened. Part of me wanted to say yes immediately. Another part was terrified. Because what if she wasn't coming back? What if she was just saying goodbye properly this time? So I asked, "Why now?" She hesitated, then whispered, "Because time's running out." The way she said it, the crack in her voice, I knew something wasn't right. But before I could ask anything else, the call ended. No explanation, no message, just silence again. And as I stood there, staring at my reflection in the black screen of my phone, I realized something. You can bury love under time, bury it under guilt, distance, or silence. But when it calls your name, you'll still answer. Every time. I hadn't seen her in half a year, but when I finally did, it felt like time didn't move. It just folded. She stood there, in the corner of that small cafe where we used to spend rainy evenings, wearing the same color she always loved. Pale blue. But something was different. She looked smaller somehow, fragile. Her smile, tired, like it had been holding too many tears. When our eyes met, everything I'd been holding back, the anger, the guilt, the love, all collapsed into silence. She whispered, "Hey, stranger." And for a moment, it felt like we were us again, before everything went wrong. But then she coughed softly, covering it with her hand. And I saw the tremble, the weakness she tried to hide. My stomach twisted. We sat down. 2 cups of untouched coffee between us, the air heavy with things neither of us knew how to say. I finally asked, "Why did you call me?" She smiled faintly. "I guess I just missed hearing your voice." But her eyes said more, something she wasn't ready to let out. I leaned forward. Maya, what's going on? She looked down. Her fingers toyed with the rim of her cup. Then she whispered, Noah, I'm sick. I froze. Sick. That word echoed louder than any scream. She continued, Doctor said it's late. Too late for anything to really work now. My chest felt like it was caving in. I couldn't breathe. Maya, why didn't you tell me? She smiled, that sad, fragile kind. Because you were already breaking. I didn't want to be another reason. We both sat there, silent, trembling, the cafe noise fading into nothing. I wanted to say so much. That I'd be there, that I'd never leave again, that we could fight this and together. But she just reached across the table, her hand finding mine. Her skin was cold, too cold, and she whispered, I didn't come back for a cure, Noah. I came back for closure. Tears filled my eyes before I could stop them. Maya, please don't say that. But she just smiled softly, the kind that said everything words couldn't. That day, the world didn't end. It just went quiet. And in that quiet, I finally understood what goodbye truly means. After that day in the cafe, I promised myself I wouldn't waste another second. I spent every day with her. Every sunrise felt like it could be the last. And every laugh. A borrowed miracle. We didn't talk much about her illness. She didn't want pity. She wanted peace. So we lived simply. Morning walks, movies she loved, late night talks where she'd lean on my shoulder and pretend the world wasn't slipping away. Sometimes she'd tease me. Still working too much? And I'd smile. Not anymore, you're my full-time job now. She'd laugh. That same laugh that used to echo through my heart. But now, it felt like it was counting down. I started noticing the little things. How her hands shook when she held a cup. How her breath caught after a short walk. How she hid the pain behind her smile. Like she was trying to protect me instead of herself. Every night, when she fell asleep beside me, I'd stay awake, watching her breathe, counting every inhale like it might be her last. One evening, we sat on the balcony watching the sunset. The sky was bleeding gold and red, and she said quietly, Noah, do you ever think we met just to break each other's hearts? I turned to her. Maybe we met to teach each other what love really means. She smiled, faint, tired, beautiful. Then promise me something. Anything. When I'm gone, don't stop living. Don't turn our love into a grave you keep visiting. Those words hit deeper than anything she'd ever said. I wanted to promise, but I couldn't. Because deep down, I already knew. When she left, a part of me would go with her. We stayed there until the stars came out. She leaned her head on my shoulder and whispered, Thank you for coming back. And I whispered, I never really left. That night, it rained. Not the loud kind, just a quiet drizzle, the kind that feels like the sky is mourning with you. Maya had been weaker all day. Her hands felt colder, her voice softer, but she kept smiling, as if she knew something I didn't. We sat by the window, watching the raindrops trace lines down the glass. She loved nights like that, said the rain made her feel alive, because even the sky cried sometimes. She looked at me, eyes hazy but full of peace. Noah, she whispered, do you remember the night you found me under the rain? I nodded. How could I forget? Her lips curved into a faint smile. Maybe that's how I'll leave too. Quietly, beautifully, in the rain. My chest ached. Don't say that, I whispered. But she only closed her eyes and said, Promise me you'll listen to the rain sometimes, so you'll know I'm still there. I took her hand, cold, fragile, fading. I promise. She smiled again, that same soft, tired smile. Then she whispered, Thank you for loving me when I forgot how. Her breathing slowed. Once, twice, then still. The room didn't change, but everything inside me did. I called her name. Once, twice. No answer. Just the sound of rain, and the quiet hum of a world that didn't care it had just lost its most beautiful soul. I sat there for hours, her hand still in mine, her warmth fading. But I couldn't let go. Because how do you say goodbye to the only person who ever made you feel seen? When morning came, the rain had stopped. Sunlight touched her face gently, like it was saying goodbye too. And for the first time, I realized she didn't leave me in darkness. She left me in light. 3 days after we buried her, I found it, a small white envelope, hidden inside her sketchbook. On it, my name, just Noah, written in her handwriting, the same loops and curves I had memorized 1,000 times. I didn't open it right away. I couldn't. Part of me was afraid that once I did, it would really be over. But that night, as the house drowned in silence, I finally tore it open. Inside was a single sheet of paper, folded neatly, and it smelled like her. That mix of rain and jasmine. The first line broke me. If you're reading this, it means I'm gone. But I need you to know something. You didn't fail me. My throat tightened. Every word felt like a heartbeat that refused to stop. You gave me more days than the doctors promised. More laughter than I thought I'd ever have again. You made the pain worth it. Tears blurred my vision. But I kept reading. Please don't live inside the day I left. Live inside the days we had. And whenever it rains, look up, not down. I'll be the sound between the drops. I pressed the letter to my chest. And for the first time since she left, I smiled through the tears. Because she wasn't gone. Not really. She had just changed form. From presence to memory. From heartbeat to echo. I read the last line out loud, as if she could still hear me. Love doesn't end when someone leaves. It only changes the way it touches you. And just like that, the house didn't feel so empty anymore. Her voice lived in the walls. Her laughter still whispered in the rain. That night, I slept with her letter on my chest. And when I dreamed, she was there, dancing barefoot under the rain, smiling. Free, finally free. It took me months to step outside again, to feel the world without flinching. The first time it rained, I almost stayed inside. But something about the sound pulled me out. I stood there, on the porch, watching the drops fall just like they used to. And for a second, I swore I heard her laugh. It wasn't haunting anymore. It was soft, warm, like the world had decided to stop hurting me for a while. I walked barefoot into the rain, just like she used to do. The cold water kissed my skin, and I looked up, not down. Because that's what she told me to do. And whenever it rains, look up, not down. And I did. For the first time, I really did. The sky was gray, but it didn't feel heavy anymore. The rain wasn't punishment. It was memory. It was her. Every drop that touched me felt like forgiveness. For not showing up, for leaving things unsaid, for breaking before I learned how to bend. They say time heals, but time didn't heal me. She did. Through every memory, every lesson, every moment I thought I was alone, she was there, just quieter. Now when people ask me if I still miss her, I smile. Because missing her no longer feels like pain. It feels like love that stayed, love that learned how to live. Even after goodbye, I still keep her letter, folded, safe, right beside my heart. And sometimes, on quiet nights, I read it again, not because I'm sad, but because it reminds me how lucky I was to love someone that deeply. Maybe healing isn't about forgetting. Maybe it's about learning to remember without breaking. Maybe it's about looking at the rain and smiling. Because now, I don't just hear her voice in the thunder. I feel her peace in the silence after.